Everyone, welcome back. Very happy to be here. I am ready. I'm not sure if the crowd is ready. All right. I think we're good. So, without further ado, I guess we can start the run. Can I get a countdown? In 3, 2, 1, go! Well, welcome to Dark Souls 2 any% current patch. The route I'm going to be doing is a little bit different than you would play normally, as you are probably well aware within speedruns. I am going to be explaining things when they are relevant, but first of all, I'm going to do a little bit of a setup. So there's one major hurdle to overcome when beating this game, and that is opening the Shrine of Winter. It's pretty much the halfway point within this run. Let me first create my character. Oh. So we picked the cleric here, or the bandit with a bonfire aesthetic, and the bonfire aesthetic is very, very important. The reason why it's important is that because with the bonfire aesthetic you can artificially increase the level to a higher new game status. And the reason why we're doing this is to farm souls. So the whole Shrine of Winter, what I was talking about before, the reason why there are two ways to open this. One is by killing all the Lord Souls. There are 4 Lord Souls, just like you're used to in any other Dark Souls game. The other one is to gain 1 million in soul memory. So if you collect a total of 1 million souls throughout the run, in that case, it will also open. It's kind of a backup for players that have a little bit more issues. I also am very bad at this video game, as you will probably soon tell. So I'm going to be collecting the 1 million souls. The way I'm going to be doing that is by killing the one boss 5 times, so very hype. That boss will be the Rotten. So after killing the Rotten 5 times, we'll be granted access to the Shrine of Winter, bypass it, and continue the rest of the run. There are very little glitches in this game, so I guess you can also call this no major glitches, but we just call it any % current patch, as it's on the current patch of the game. So the upcoming section is just a little bit of running, and I see we have a little bit of donations, so host, please take it away.
Yeah, thanks so much. So we have a $5 donation from Ventus Wolf saying, let's get this started. Co-on-D, hello everyone. Thank you so much. As well as we have a €10 donation from Clover saying, BSG monthly hype. And we have another €10 donation from Killerchair saying first, ? I can see we have also met the incentive for Pet the Dog.
Nice.
So nice work, everyone. We're going to pet the dog, waste a little bit of time, but pet the good boy.
So, the last part of this running section, we picked up a Homer Bone and a soul. The soul is very, very required, as it gives me one and only one shot at getting a sequence skip here. We can, in a little bit, we buy a firebomb. On the other side of the wall, there are a couple of explosive barrels. If you blow up the barrels with the firebomb, the wall explodes and it gets, you open up a shortcut, normally only accessible from the other side. It's a little bit finicky. Normally it should be fine, but let's see what we encounter here. So I'm hoping for this guy not to follow me, or at least not too quickly. I don't think he will. So we're going to use the soul and talk at the same time. Get our singular firebomb. Reset or touch the bonfire. He's not following me. It's quite nice. Should be fine. There we go. So up next is the pursuer skip. You trigger the pursuer. It's not. You trigger the pursuer by jumping over the little gap here. Oh my god! Come on. There we go. Now we jump again. That actually triggers the fight. I think we should be fine. Oh, we're not fine. Oh, no. Well, this is starting off fantastic. So normally you should be able to get the pursuer glitch there, which makes you kill the pursuer and makes you able to continue to run. Unfortunately, I did not get it. It's actually very easy. But he hit me midway, which is kind of unfortunate because it ruins the setup. If you could not hit me, that would be fantastic. All right. It's okay, we can, there's a little bit of backup, it loses a little bit of time. Oh, we don't have the, of course, we do not have the soul of the pursuer. It's all good. So up next is the last giant. We kill him for souls initially and also for a key. Then we need to kill the pursuer that we already should have been, you know, should have been dead. Anyway, fight is not too bad. Open up with 4 R1s. He will do the stomp. Or the slash. Now he will do the stomp. 3 R1s. He will now jump back is not great. Not great at all. Now he will buff. I'm missing a bit of damage because the pursuer gives me a ring that gives me more damage. So the whole strat kind of goes out of the window here, which is unfortunately. That's a good attack. Alright, one more. There we go. So we quickly use the Dark Sign, and by using the Dark Sign, we still obtain the souls without consuming a Homeward Bone, so that's quite nice. Alright. Now I'm gonna be deviating from the route a little bit. Normally this is it, and the rest of we can continue with the rest of the run. Unfortunately, because we didn't get the pursuer quick kill, we now have to kill the pursuer manually because the ring that he drops is very, very valuable, and I need the souls. So the strat is to roll his first attack and then kill him, which finally kills the pursuer. It's a little bit of a time loss. It's not too bad. This will definitely be a reset in runs though, but hey. All right. A little bit of an explanation to do, and after we're done, I can continue. The host can read some donations. So here we talk to the girl because we need to exhaust our dialogue, open the key or open the door with the key that we just got. Rest at the bonfire. This unlocks the blacksmith. And now we're going to get the weapon that we're going to be using for the majority of this run, which is the rapier. We use the soul and talk at the same time, get the rapier, get 6 shards. And with those shards, we upgrade our rapier to a +3. After this is done, we're going to talk to the cat. Don't worry, this is normal. From the cat, we buy the cat ring. And the cat ring makes us reduce our fall damage. Could probably buy another one of those, just in case. All right. So with the cat ring in hand, we can now make the drop down this pit and not die. Otherwise, we would have died. And dying is bad. All right. So after this, we're going to kill a crystal lizard. The crystal lizard will enable us to upgrade the rapier to a +4. And with that said, host, please take it away for some donations.
Thank you so much. So we have a €25 donation from Mies LWD saying, good luck to all running. Good to be back at BSG. Thanks for all volunteers that make this event happen. Love you all. Cheers, Mies. And that was going towards the Devil May Cry incentive, the cutscene of Dante and Trish. So We are about a quarter of the way to that incentive. We also got a 25 euro donation from Ugyu saying, "Hi everyone, BSG hype. Glad to be here with all my friends. Wide Pikmin happy." And then finally, we have a 15 euro donation from Sino saying, "Good to see the best Souls game run at more marathons. I love Dark Souls 2. Very important to say the smile out loud." And that went towards the reverse, forward reverse for Redout 2.
Oh, don't mind me just falling off there after successfully getting the skip. It's all intended. Oh, I'm so dead here. Never mind. I'm lying. Alright. So, after all of this is done, there are some... You're actually quite short on healing items in this run. So, knowing how this started, I'm going to pick up some extra ones, just in case. It doesn't really lose you too much time, and it's always nice to have. So here we pick up a fragrant branch of Yord. We need that to continue to the next section. But for now, it's time to fight the best boss in the game, which is the Rotten. And I hope you enjoy, because this is the boss we're going to be fighting 5 times in order to farm enough souls to progress toward the game. Not going to be taking any chances here with Rotten. If you're fully healed, you can tank 2 hits. With Rotten, you can look out for me trying to cut his arm. You can cut his arm, both of his arms actually, and doing that will ensure a faster fight, because he will still try and attack with that arm, which just gives you a couple of free hits, which is quite nice. Oh, give me a lunge. That's the best opening you can do. You can get 3 arm hits there. Good follow-up. Lunge again. No lunge. It's okay. Pretty much all attacks with his arm are fine. Quite low on stamina in this fight so far. Alright, that's good. Probably can cut with the next attack. Alright. So halfway done, and the Rotten now only has 1 arm. You see he's trying to attack me. He can't, so I can just completely empty my stamina bar on him. And he is more inclined, I feel, to do the explosion, which is definitely the... Yeah, there we go, next attack. So he can still attack with that arm. But there we go, that's Rotten 1 down, only 4 more to go. So, this being an any % run, the most logical next thing to do is enter the DLC. The reason why we do this is twofold. Let me drink real quick. First of all, there is a ring that is quite nice. The ring that is required for just dealing a little bit more damage. And since we're in the DLC already, it's nice to have that ring. We drop the axe here. We don't need it anymore. The main reason why we're in this DLC is to pick up 3 from the top of my head bonfire aesthetics. And these bonfire aesthetics were the thing I was talking about at the start of the run, which will enable you to up the NG level of a certain area to the next NG+. Granting, reviving the boss, that's part 1. And thing 2 is that it will now give you more souls as you're in a higher NG. So that's all nice. A little bit of a jump here. It was not close at all. That skips a very long stagger you get from the dragon standing up. So there's a little bit of a jump here you can do. I'll try and line it up. Don't think so. Oh, nice. We got this one too. Saves a little bit of time. Otherwise, you need to hit the lever and wait for the platform to rise. We shoot that lever, because that's not skippable, and ride this elevator up. Grab the next bonfire and make our way throughout the level. And host, if you have anything to plug or to say, please go ahead.
Okay, thank you so much. We got a €5 donation from Panda saying, "Good luck on the run, Brood. Stay amazing, Leo. And shout outs to all the beautiful homies in the back. Stay hydrated." Additionally, that went towards the Devil May Cry Dante and Trish cutscene, which we're making some good progress on, so let's keep it going. All these donations are going towards mine. Thanks so much.
So there's a fun little trick here. Right before the run started, I set the texture quality to high, and for some unknown reason, this makes the doors open faster. This game is very well designed and coded. So right here, we're gonna just progress to the DLC normally. And while we're waiting for that second door to open, we're gonna grab here a soul of a great hero, getting us a little bit of extra souls. It's not necessary. Nice shot. It's not quite necessary for the soul count, for the soul memory of 1 million. However, it is quite nice to have the levels when fighting the Rotten over and over and over again. To have a little bit more stamina, a little bit more health as well, because it enables a very nice setup. Moving on. This is the ring I was talking about. It's called Flynn's ring. And the lower one of your stats is, it's the vitality stat, if I'm not mistaken, the higher the damage output you will get from this ring. Well, obviously we'll not be leveling any vitality stats in this run. So in that, therefore we really get the maximum amount of damage out of this ring. Hopefully, okay, he attacks, that's quite nice. They miss, that's good. Alright, now I'm just hoping that these ghosts here will let me use the homeward bone and move back to the last bonfire to do the final thing that I said I was going to do in this DLC, which is getting the bonfire aesthetics and preparing for the Rotten Farm. Okay, well, that ghost just ran off the cliff. Alright, so with soul and another key in hand, we can now progress towards a very late game area of this DLC. We're not going to be fighting any bosses here, but we are going to pick up the items. These guys hit like a truck. Luckily, they did a good attack. Some of these attacks are undodgeable. The thing with Dark Souls 2 compared to Dark Souls 1 and other Souls games is that you will... the amount of iframes that you get are tied to a stat. It's not very well explained at all in the game, but adaptability is a stat that you want to level if you want to get more iframes. However, because leveling that is slow and it doesn't really get us anything, we won't level it until very late in the game. Downside is that certain attacks just have such a long lingering hitbox that there is really no way out of if they do that certain attack. So up here there's an invader. The invader is not really skippable, so we're gonna try and kill him by using some big brain technology here. He will always, at least almost always, try and throw an item. That's the one. Now we do a guard break and we hit him again and he falls off. Never to be seen again. He's alright, don't worry about it. That is the fastest way, which is quite nice that we got that. Then there's only this last part. And after that, there's a lot of running section again, everyone's favorite. Alright, let's not get petrified here, that would be great. Alright. Think he did an attack? Yeah, okay. Should be good. Yeah, alright. Nice. Alright, that's the DLC area done. That is quite nice. The DLC can be very tricky. A lot of places where you can die. So, happy that everything went fine. So we're gonna go back to the area where we fought the Last Giant and Pursuer, because the same merchant that we got the key from, we also get some other items from. We will get some other items from. So, in this shopping section, we buy the cestus, and we buy 3 bright bucks. We talk for the ring, and we go back. So the bright bucks are pretty much a godsend in this run. The bright bucks reduce the damage that you take and increase the damage that you deal. It's just a win-win. The cestus is a weapon that we use very briefly in this run. Right. So here we level 14 and 32. and we go and reinforce the rapier to the +4. So the leveling is done very specifically, especially the health that I level up, Vigor, because it enables a red Tearstone ring setup that I will be getting very soon. I will explain the red Tearstone ring later when it's relevant. The weapon that I bought, the Cestus, is pretty much used for one area and one boss, but it's a very, very good weapon, but only for certain bosses, unfortunately. Then it was the ring, and the ring is very, very welcome because that's the ring that gets you more souls. And as I told you many a time this run, souls are very important. We need to get 1 million, and this ring gets us, like, I think 20% more souls for each enemy that we kill. So, very welcome. And the rest is just a little bunch of running. So, host, if you have something to plug, please go ahead.
Yeah, sure thing. So I just want to remind everyone that you can actually use your free monthly Prime Gaming subscription on the ESA channel, and that will unlock and access a range of exclusive ESA and BSG emotes while simultaneously showing support for both ESA and BSG. So that will also help us contribute with donations towards mine as well.
Thank you so much. So in the last part of this running section, I guess I can already try and explain the red Tearstone ring for a little bit. So the red Tearstone ring, if you're familiar with the Dark Souls games, is a reoccurring ring in all 3 games. The red Tearstone ring gets activated in this game, if I'm not mistaken, below 30% HP, and then will increase your damage output. So it's kind of a glass cannon build. You need to not take damage, and in return you get a massive, massive increase of, well, at least a substantial increase in the damage that you deal. While we are in this area, we might as well go for the gold pine resin. Gold pine resin is a buff for your weapon. It applies a lightning damage to it. It's right on the way here. It saves quite a bit of time because the rapier is a damage that hits a lot. Not very hard, but it hits a lot. So every time you get the gold pine buff, that is highly worth it. Normally I would use the dark sign and buy at the same time.
Farewell.
But yeah, it saves only a little bit of time, and if you mess this up, your entire run just falls apart because you're missing a lot of damage. Because I did kill the pursuer, we got quite a lot of extra gold pine resin, so this should last me comfortably throughout the run. So here I equipped the gold pine and the bright bugs, because up next is the rotten fight. So this will be the boss that we'll be fighting or farming 4 more times in order to get the souls. And there we go. You need to actually use the bonfire aesthetics. So that's the item that I was talking about in the DLC. We pick up the bonfire aesthetic. Now the rotten is respawned, and it's harder. It's like upping one new game a level. So over here we buff. We equip the red Tearstone ring. We use poison to drain my HP. Use a bright bug and then go to the rotten. And if I didn't make any mistakes so far, now we're in red Tearstone range. And there we go. So this setup is quite nice for my health, as you. All right. As you don't really need to waste any time. All right. Setting up your HP, you can just take a little bit of poison damage and then keep going. That was a pretty decent Rotten 2. Rotten 2 is like you have the most damage for that one. Quite nice RNG there. So we're gonna do this a couple of more times. we use the bonfire aesthetic again. Now we carry over the bright bug and we reapply it to the gold pine resin. Luckily, in NG plus and onwards, the poison damage always remains the same, so we can just keep using the same setup. So worst opening you can do, but that's okay. If he goes back, you want to go back as well. It will kind of bait him into doing an attack. Oh, weird animation. But that's an early arm cut, that's pretty nice. Just don't explode right now. Don't need explosion, just a normal attack. Okay. Okay, both arms gone. And no explosion, that's quite nice. And that's rotten, I'm losing count. 3? 3. Rotten 3 done. Hope you guys are entertained by by this insane run of literally farming one boss. There we go. As the Rottens increase, their health bar also increases. Or as the NG levels increase, the health bar increases, I should say. Come on. Ah, that's a great opener. Nice. 1, 2, 3. Wrong arm. That's unfortunate. Couldn't really run around him for the attack on his arm there because of the fire. Now he's exploding. I can still not reach his cleaver arm because of the fire, which is kind of sad. This is the only attack I can hit him, and I don't even think both of these hits can connect, so that's unfortunate. Another explosion, fantastic. You should probably be able to finish him off here. There we go. All right. So one more Rotten fight, and then there is a little bit of a running section to get to the next fights. These Rotten fights are decent. Like, they're not great, but I'm not dying, which is quite nice. So last time, use the gold pine resin. Get hit here, get hit there. Use a bright buck. And the last of the Rottens. So, not a great opener. Not a great follow-up. Come on, man. So like I said, mainly try and go for arm cuts here. I don't think this is gonna happen this fight. Maybe I'm wrong. That's a fantastic attack. That's one of the best attacks that he has. That's one of the worst attacks that he has. Come on, almost done there. All right, Rotten done. That's pretty nice. Right. So, with the Rotten farming section done, I think we can head it back to the host, as we have quite an important message to tell you, I think.
We certainly do. We've received a incredibly generous 250 euros from Skenme. Thank you so much. That's with the message BSG, BSG, BSG. Much love from the UK. Hope you have an awesome event, Curl D. Thank you so much, Skenme. That's going towards Mind. Really, really appreciate it.
Thank you for that awesome donation. So right here we're going to be leveling a little bit with all of our new gained souls. We pretty much spec into anything that gives us more damage. And finally into 10 ADP, as that's what I was talking about before. It gives me a little bit more iframes. Makes the run a little bit easier. So, and that means that we are roughly halfway through the run, more or less. Right now I'm going to be approaching the Shrine of Winter. That's the place where we need 1 million souls for in total. And if all is well, the door should open and we can progress through the game. If the door doesn't open, this will very quickly turn into a casual playthrough. There's not really a backup. but we should be fine. So, here we go. Open the door. And we're into the mid-section of this game. We're going to be equipping the Cestus here, because this is one of these areas where the Cestus is really, really helpful to kill some enemies and later on to kill a boss too. I am going to be picking up this as it's super on the way. It's a human effigy. I have 2 right now because I didn't die for some miraculous reason yet. I mean, because I'm decent at this game. The human like when you die in this game, your health gets smaller and smaller and smaller, and there's not really a problem because you shouldn't really get hit anyway. However, certain red Tearson ring setups are dependent on your health. So in that case, it's quite nice to, you know, have a consistent health throughout the game, especially in the places where it's needed the most. Another little bit of tech you might have noticed is with my stamina management. The green bar is the stamina, and not right now because I'm about to enter a fighting section, but when I'm running, I pretty much completely deplete my stamina bar. And that is because there is a little bit of a, it's very small, but there's a little bit of a startup to your run where you're not at full running speed just yet. And yeah, just okay, not what I was. Okay, well, there we go. Yeah, just by completely depleting your stamina bar is obviously okay. I need one more hit from you. Hello. Alright. And by completely depleting your stamina bar, you will ensure that you have that startup animation the least amount of times, therefore going faster. So here we equip the Cestus finally. And we equip the Cestus for the upcoming enemy, which will die in 2 hits, which is quite nice. 1, 2. Doing it in this order ensures that the enemies that spawn up there can no longer follow you. They get de-aggroed by walking away. We pick up this bonfire for a later use, because this is also where the end game takes place. We try and not get hit here. And we are off to the next boss, which we re-equip the rapier for. So the next boss is quite tricky normally, as you have 1 archer and you have 1 guy that does melee damage to you. Luckily, if you shoot the archer, he will fall down and you can just kill him real quick, as his HP pool is quite a bit lower than the melee guy. So in the upcoming section upcoming fight, I'm mostly focusing on the archer first, ensuring it's a fair and square 1v1. And after that, kill the remaining boss. So, shoot the archer. He will aggro. Police attack. There we go. If he attacks, it's going to be a 3-hit, otherwise not. Make sure. Oh god. There we go. And there we go. And all the fights. So I'm going to be healing up outside of RTSR here real quick. Taking this bonfire. And then activate this super long elevator here. On the... sorry. On the back there. By killing an enemy in a specific location. Excuse me for the coughing. So we kill this enemy. Just wait till he's done with his attack. Wait till he turns around. And we homered back towards the bonfire, which we then wait for roughly 2 minutes till the elevator comes down, and then ride it up, and then bone back again. With that being said, if you have anything to say, host, then please go on ahead.
Yeah, sure thing. So I would like to remind you that aside from BSG events, Neuronar Marathons, ESCA hosts many other events across Europe, including the British UKSG, Hackathon, and many more. So be sure to drop a follow so you can see when something's live.
There we go. Great timing. So with the elevator coming down, we're going to be riding it straight up again. Not before I forgot to set up RTSR. Should do it. Ah, come on. It's a bit distracted by the host message. My bad. Re-equip the Keidran straight up because it's very important to have it on. Because in a couple of minutes we're going to be taking some quite big drops, and using the Keidran we can actually survive those. Otherwise we'll probably die. So, by riding this elevator back up, I'm going to be equipping the Cestus again, and the Cestus this time is not required for some minor enemy killing, but this is the only boss that we're going to be killing with the Cestus. Because this boss is very weak to blunt damage, if I'm not mistaken, and the Cestus deals blunt damage while the Rapier quite obviously does not. As it's a big pokey stick. Alright, we don't homeward bone, we dark sign. Back to the bonfire, and now we finally can progress to the boss. Also here the RTSR is quite required. Like certain bosses it's just a little bit faster, you maybe save like 1 or 2 hits. With this boss, actually, if you don't have RTSR or you don't deal sufficient amount of damage, you will break his pattern. There is a AI loop, which I'm going to be attempting. And if all goes well, this is a very scripted fight. If all does not go well, we'll see. So we buff here. Bait 1 attack. Go back, hit him 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. So, like I said, scripted fight, quite nice. And we're now going to probably the hardest section of this entire game. Well, the main game, I would say. It's the Shrine of Amana. Players that have played Dark Souls 2 before, it's a little bit better than its cousin Scholar of the First Sin, but it's still a very nasty area. There's a lot of sorcerers that will cast ranged spells at you, and there is 1 fog gate guarded by 2 sorcerers and 2 melee boys, and it's a mess. There are strats to make it better, which I'm obviously doing. However, you just still need to get decent RNG. If they intend to mess your run up, or they want to mess up your run, they can mess up your run, and there's just nothing you can do about it. So, let's hope that won't happen. I am gonna be healing here. So these guys you can mostly ignore because their aggro trigger is kind of weird. So you can just walk past, at least the majority of them. There is another bonfire here I could be taking. I'm not going to take it. The run is going quite well. I'm quite confident in myself. And there is the small thing that getting out of this bonfire is pretty much just as much of a pain as running back. So yeah, there's not really much benefit of taking this. So here you have our friends, the sorcerers. I use audio cues to dodge these attacks. You can also look back and visually dodge them. Doesn't always work out. Doing a pretty stand-up job if I'm saying it so myself. No! Never mind. Instantly get hit. So right here we can do some safety measures and we're gonna equip some armor. Armor gives poise, and poise in this game oh, it's a late cast. Poise makes you able to tank a hit. Like that. It's very helpful there. I'm healing here though. I need to unequip Fullin's ring here. Alright. Then we use a bright bug. And don't forget to equip Fullin's and the cat ring both again. So, we're almost done with the mount. That was the fog gate I was talking about, by the way. It's very messy. You saw I got hit a bunch of times. That's pretty much inevitable. Up next is the boss of this fight, or this area. Really not much to worry about. Ran out of stamina there, unfortunate. Right, we can sneak in and hit right there. And then we just wait for him to be done with his attacks. And attack him a couple of times. 2, 3, 4, R2, R2. You can tank this, I probably will. If your health is good, then you can set up RTSR, saving a couple of hits, but it's okay. And up next will be a little bit of a waiting section where we wait for an elevator to come down. So, yeah, host, please take it away.
Love you, thank you so much. So we've received a €10 donation from Geister Carl saying, greetings from Germany, have a great weekend of speedrunning, may the RNG be with you. That's going towards the Dante and Trish cutscene for Devil May Cry. And that means that we have now just surpassed the €350 mark, surpassing BSG Monthly 7's milestone. So thank you so much, Geister Carl, really appreciate it. And that goes towards Mind.
Thank you so much for those donations. So, right now, it's a bit of a tricky section. I'm going to be attempting to do this RTSR because I think my estimate can handle this. We'll see if those are famous last words or not. So we're going to be setting up RTSR by dead drop. Getting us to a roughly half HP, and then we're tanking a hit from an enemy up next. And we're going to be doing that in order to make the upcoming fight a little bit more consistent and obviously a bit faster as you do more damage and need to hit it less. This also is where we stop using the rapier as our main. Okay, that's kind of bad. Please hit me once. Please hit me once. Twice is also fine. I'm lying. We need the rapier for this rock. Now we're done with the rapier. I don't want to be wasting a bright bug. There is coming up next a invader, and you cannot, for some unknown reason, use a bright bug while there's an invader. So we're going to be buffing inside of the boss area. Because the boss is not really the problem in this area, it's the area right before the boss. So shooting that arrow there makes them turn around. Normally you have to wait there for quite a long time. But yeah, doing that arrow strat kind of draws their attention, which is quite nice. I'm taking this safety measure here because I took the bonfire already. In case I die here, again, this is quite a tricky part. The run back will be significantly shorter. So you might wonder, how did I get this massive sword all of a sudden? It's actually a key. And you get it from one of the chests that we opened before. And we're going to be using it from the rest of the run. So we trigger these guys. Go here and get in. Nice. Okay. So here we buff with the last remaining bright bug that we have. There we go. So with Artisar, this fight becomes quite trivial. I just regen to full stamina here, and I can kill him here during his buff animation. Without the Gold Pine Resin, Bright Bug, and Artisar, if you don't have all three of those buffs, it will be significantly harder, as he will actually be able to finish his buff, and phase 2 of the fight starts. Phase 2 is nothing to worry about. His moveset is the same and all. However, it is quite nice to just skip that phase altogether. So at the end there, we picked up the King's Ring. The King's Ring is required for one of the last obstacles in order to finish this this run. It is to open all King's Gates. Very, you know, makes sense. And we're gonna be equipping it here. And the King's Gate is only openable with the ring, which is why we which is why we get the Velstad kill to get the ring. So, one other thing you will see me do quite a lot now. You probably saw me run around with the rapier equipped a lot of the time. As you can see, bottom right corner, 9.9% equip load. You go to this, it's 14.4. Without it, it's 7.1. The reason is, with every so many percentage points, you increase your kind of equip load status, and that will mean that your stamina regains slower and your runs are not as far. And with the eye on slide optimizations, I don't need the weapon right now, so you might as well skip it and only equip it when it's required. To be fair, I also don't really need the bow right now. I just like how it looks, and it doesn't really save or lose us any time. So we do a little bit of parkour here to bypass most of this giant dinosaur waking up. And we're going to be making our way to a very tricky fight, actually, which is Guardian Dragon. So Guardian Dragon is the same as what I talked about before. It has kind of a damage gate as well. And the problem is that but also another thing, that you cannot really be too close or too far for the boss at certain times during that fight. Otherwise, he will start flying. Hopefully I can just explain how flying looks, because if he starts flying, the fight becomes a real mess. You don't want him to fly. And you can prevent that by just being good and having good timing and positioning. So let's see if I have good timing and positioning. So here I set up Artisar again. And buff with the Gold Pine Resin. I'm going to be walking up to a very specific spot on the ground, which is here. Do 2 attacks. And he starts flying. Second one here. Hope. Okay, that's fine. All right, that's okay. We are kind of at the mercy of the RNG god. If he does start flying, I'm not sure if my positioning was a little bit off. It did feel that way, but it is quite precise. So with that out of the way, we are now continuing to another very long running section. So again, host, if you have anything to say, please feel free to do so.
Yeah, sure thing. So the BSG announcements that you're hearing are brought to you by the LCT 440 Pure microphone, which, as you can hear, sounds amazing. And we're happy to thank Lewitt so much for these premium microphones to allow us to sound so great.
They do sound great.
Yeah. I also want to quickly just remind you about the Redout 2 bid war for forwards or backwards. This basically selects on whether the entire run will be done with tracks forwards or in reverse, and there are differences between those two. It's not just the track is reversed. There is some differences in routing, which makes it a little bit easier, a bit harder. So if you want to change that, because I can see currently we are looking at a reverse track with 15 euros in the lead at the moment.
Do we know what is harder, if it's reverse or forward?
My gut would say reverse.
Yeah, that is what my gut would say too.
But maybe we want to go faster and you can go forward.
So after this small running section, there's actually some interesting tech coming up. The rock over there on the left that's sticking out, you can actually reach that from here with a very specific jump, which is also why I have the bow equipped. Because with the bow you can aim, jump, and make it up there, which saves quite a chunk of time. On this bridge we can unfortunately no longer run, so you have to roll in order to speed things up a little. And up there is the thing that we are here for, which is the Ashen Mist Heart, which is a item that makes us, if I'm not mistaken, visit memories, which is required to, finish the game. So up here there is 2 enemies that are quite tricky, this one, and up here there are 2 more, but if you do some AI manipulation, you can force one guy to actually just go ahead and do some grocery shopping, and you will probably see why I say that, hopefully. There we go, this guy just goes home. Don't know why, but anyway. So here there's a final stretch. These enemies are not too bad, but these ones hurt like a truck. So you really want to avoid those. Okay. Oh, there we go. The adaptability there really saved me. If I had, the base iframes that I had at the start of the game, would guaranteed be hit there. So now we talk and use the homeward bone at the same time, get the Ashen Mist Heart, and move on with the rest of the run. So we're going to be moving for the 3rd time back again to the starting area, where we will fight Giant Lord. He looks a little bit like Last Giant, the first fight of the game. Slightly different though. Alright, by 3 effigy or 3 bright bugs right there. Turn around, do a gesture, get up here. Specific spot. And there we go. This is one of my favorite jumps. It's so satisfying. If you do it correctly, you instantly set up RTSR, and that will carry you through this fight. Since I have 18 gold pine resins, I'm going to be using those instead of the bright bug. Normally you would be using the bright bug for this fight. It doesn't really matter. It's just a little bit of extra damage, and I would much rather keep the bright bug for the last fight of the game, as that one can be quite tricky. We're going to be hitting 3 times here. Be stomping. 1, 2. Alright, that's Giant Lord done. And we use the Dark Sign to get out of here. And with that item, the giant skin ship, we have finally collected enough items to challenge the final fight of this game, which is first a 2v1 fight from Throne Watcher and Throne Defender. After that, it's a 1v1 with the actual final boss. So here I'm going to be equipping as much stuff as I can, at least that is notable, as I intentionally want to take damage. So on the bottom left you see Radiant Life Gem, which is a healing item. Unfortunately, Life Gems have the effect of stopping when yet you're at full HP. So by intentionally taking damage, I prolong the use of the Life Gem just a tiny amount. Stay hydrated. Alright, so with this very long running section, we first Brightbug, as the Brightbugs last longer. As soon as we ran out of stamina again, we do be buffing with Gold Pine Resin for hopefully second to last time. Equipping the Radiant Life Gem. Alright, we're going to be using it, going here to the right. Hopefully get 2 free hits. There you go. Want my normal life gems to be ready. Okay. Let's try to make this run deathless, shall we? So he's wanting to buff right now, which is great because he takes increased damage. Gonna tank the hit, that's fine. You're in the way. Ah. Gonna jump. Ah. And as soon as Watcher starts healing the friend, she takes increased damage and you can kill them up. So this is going to be the last fight of the game. Hopefully, I only have to do it once. If you do it correctly, there is also a AI manipulation for this. So tech, get ready on time-ish. 1, 2, 3, 4. You run back a little bit, then you use a life gem. She will do the laser, very nice. 1, 2, 3, 4, and with the R2. Now you run to the left. She does that one. 1, 2, R2, and that should be it. That is GG. So almost time. Time is coming up when the screen fades to black. And this is a very decent run, actually. This is some fashion souls. There you go. And time. That was pretty good. There were some minor mistakes if you just skip the first 10 minutes of the run. Other than that, pretty happy with this. So yeah, we should be probably moving on. I just want to say thank you again. It's been a long while since I've been at BSG, but yeah, it feels just like home when I showed up again. It's been very fun all the time. If you have the chance to live in the Netherlands, please don't hesitate to come and visit or submit, even if you feel like you want to do so. With that being said, thank you all so much for watching. I'll probably be doing some Dark Souls 2 for further events or other Souls games. But yeah, without much further ado, please host take it over, and thank you so much for watching.
Yeah, thank you so much, Brood. That was a very entertaining run. Thanks so much. We're going to head over to an intermission screen to get it set up for the next run, which is Titan Souls, to round off our Souls block. So we'll do that. We'll run some ads, so don't go anywhere.